Hi, and today we've reached the Potteries. And to be honest, when we got in notification when we were still at college that we were going to be sent to this place called Burslem, we had no idea where that was. So we looked up on a map and discovered that it's in the Potteries. So we went off to the Potteries, where I became minister of 5 Methodist churches, all reasonably smallish, but they had some life about them. Although when I went round to look around one of them, particularly the chief steward said to me, "I hope you're up for a challenge." And I said to him, "I hope you are too." So anyway, we had a great 5 years in the Potteries in the Burslem circuit. So much that we could talk about. There was a group of younger people who were connected with Swamp Bank Methodist Church, the big mission church, who came regularly to our church in Norton to take services, and that was a real help and support. There were really great people in the churches where we served. So many happy memories. One of the blessings was that during our time there, I really felt that a friend of ours, John Clayton, who was living in Norwich, just recently taken early retirement. I felt if we could get him up to come and work with us as a part-time lay worker, that would be fantastic. So I shared this vision with our church in Norton, and a lot of people seemed to be really excited by it. But our treasurer thought we're never going to be able to pay for that, so he decided to resign, which is fair enough. But we went ahead, and God provided, as he often does. Well, he always does. Well, it's his plan and purpose. God always gives the resource, and John actually is still living in that area in Norton, and he's done a fantastic work with children and young people over many, many years. He sowed so much into the lives of our children, and we're eternally grateful for him and for his friendship. So we got the 5 churches working together. We met together regularly, worshipped, studied the Bible together. Spring Harvest was another great memory, taking folk off to Spring Harvest. And a lot of Potteries people are quite parochial. They don't often didn't then venture out very far. But so taking them to the wonderful delights of Skegness and Spring Harvest was a fantastic experience for them. So many happy memories, so many good friends. One of our friends there was a lady called Ivy Pope. And if she was ever at our house at the Manse and answered the phone, she would say, "Hello, this is the Pope at the Manse," which is always quite funny. And we saw recently a photo of Ivy just having celebrated her 90th birthday. She doesn't look a day older than when she did all those years ago when we were there. Have you got anything you want to add?
Oh, I was going to wondering if I was going to get a word in edgeways. Stoke was interesting for me because my mother had grown up in Sandbach, which is not far away, and my granddad had come from Leek. And so suddenly I was in the middle of an area that I'd heard lots about as a child, but didn't know at all, and that was really interesting. And we had some amazing people in the church. There were a guy called Norman Amos who ran the Boys Brigade, and he just loved and cared for many boys on the council estate at the back of the church. And some of those have gone on into full-time ministry. But we had lots of children who would be given, say, 50 pence and be told don't come back till 9 o'clock or whatever time. And Norman was just amazing at looking after these, especially boys, and really bringing them to a place of faith, but helping them to sort their lives out. And that was really good. And we just so many amazing people, really.
And we saw the church growing, didn't we?
We did, enormously. You had a word, didn't you, about the church in having a time of peace and growth, didn't you? Can you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that now. And so it was a really good time. And that particular church in Norton, although all the churches in different ways, used different events like jumble sales. Through jumble sales, we had people coming to church, through flower festivals, through all sorts of different means. One of the things that's come back to my mind, I discovered recently, this bookmark. I don't know if you can see that. Remember, some of you may remember Rob Frost. He wrote a book called Gospel End, and he toured with it, and we hosted at the Queen's Theatre in Burslem a production, and that was a fantastic event. We got many people. The whole place was full. So there were lots of outstanding times when we had to step out of the boat, out of our comfort zone. But we really saw people growing and developing and learning together. And it was in all the churches. We had some great people, and we're still in contact with many of them. Many fond memories. But we felt that after as the 5 years, our initial 5 years was coming towards an end, that it was the right time for us to move on, not least because of the children's schooling and etc. But it was sad to leave, but we felt it was the right thing. But so many fantastic memories. The other thing to say, I did marry while I was there 2 people who are now in full-time ministry. Tim Morris, I think Tim might have been a minister at that time, didn't he?
Yeah, he was training.
He was training for the ministry. Tim's now a Methodist minister in Derbyshire, in Ashbourne, Derbyshire. And Gary and Dawn, another couple that I married. Gary is, he's defected to the Anglicans, but we love him anyway. And Gary and Dawn are great friends of ours too. So fantastic memories, fantastic people. We were so blessed to be part of that fellowship. So that's all we've got time for today. So tomorrow we move on to Sheffield and back to Yorkshire for me. God bless.